I believe that once a deed has been done, it cannot be undone. I believe that society should move on as a whole and not grudge people for their wrongdoing. I believe that everyone, no matter what they've done or been through, deserves respect. When I was 7 years old, I remember watching the news with my dad while we waited for a soccer game to come on. The headline for the story read, "Inmate beat to death by prison guards." The station went on to interview inmates at the prison, and from what I heard, he was beaten without valid reasoning. I asked my dad why, and he told me about how the world isn't perfect. The reason I remember this is because at the end of that conversation, he told me, sometimes people do bad things, but they don't deserve to lose twice. Here I am now, 8 years later, choosing a book about the quote he told me when I was 7 years old. I really couldn't understand the true meaning of it then, but now I understand. In simpler terms, he was talking about giving people a second chance. The inmate, 24-year-old Rocrass Mack, who was serving time for a drug offense. He was a few years into his sentence and had plenty of time to rethink his actions and fix the bad inside of him. He was a new man. But those guards still felt the need to hold his old self against him and proceed to kill him. After that story, I've had lots of people in my life making bad decisions that affect either me or them. But I think back to that poor kid and compare myself to those guards and know that I am better than that, which is why I always give people second chances. In my book, Escape from Alcatraz, the exact storyline doesn't necessarily go along with what I'm talking about here, but it does show throughout the story. As the story's main focus is on the men escaping, it also shows what it is like in prison life, and it really isn't pretty. The guards working on Alcatraz show none of the inmates with any respect whatsoever. Half of the people in the prison are serving long-term sentences and have completely changed since they were initially put into Alcatraz. These guards don't let that define them. They let the charges against prisoners define them. Guards show loads of disrespect by taunting inmates with their cell, and when I read portions where this is present, it enrages me because they don't deserve it. They are stuck in a cell for the rest of their lives, and here, there are still people with will to sit there and insult them. I find it disgusting for one to sit there and hurt someone knowing that they cannot do anything about it. These inmates have time to change themselves while they are serving time, and they should be allowed to do that in peace and a respectful environment. I believe that everyone who has done wrong deserves a chance to prove themselves they are changed to the world. I believe for doing this they deserve respect.